Hey, what is going on, everyone out there on Facebook? It is Summer Jeronimo here, and I am here at the Tony Robbins event called Date with Destiny. Now, if you've never heard of this event, this is actually an event where tickets on average, depending on how you get them, are between like $5,000 and $8,000 a person, and they might go up from there. So it's definitely an investment in yourself, but this is the time where people literally come from all over the world to transform their lives, transform their heart, transform the quality of their thinking. And you, my friend, are gonna get a little sneak peek at what we have been going through. Yesterday was the very first day. It was intense, it was long, and I'm just gonna share with you just a couple of minutes on some things that I learned that hopefully you'll be able to take and use, and it will empower you to do the things that you gotta do in your life. So if you are just jumping on, go ahead and put where it is that you are coming in from. Today I am in West Palm Beach, Florida. And so it's so great to see you. What's up, Brian? Hey, Raghu, how are you? What's going on, guys? Go ahead and drop where you're coming in from, and do yourself a favor. If you have people in your organization that you know should be taking their lives to the next level, they want to take the caliber of their thinking to the next level, then feel free to share the replay. And if you do, definitely drop a hashtag in the comment section so I can shout you out and publicly give you a little bit of thanks. So what's up, Mustafa? How are you? Shauna, I got Indiana in the house. Great to see you, Damien. All right, guys, so if we haven't met before, and maybe you're watching this in the replay, definitely put a hashtag replay or a hashtag live if you're live with me. My name is Summer Jeronimo, and I do focus on helping network marketers that want to take their skill, their mindset, and their income to the next level. My husband and I have been so very blessed to have had quite a bit of success in the network marketing profession, and I want you to win, man. Let's get out there and get this thing done. So I want to share with you what I learned yesterday. Now, I'm just going to show you this. This is my notebook. It's quite thick. And out of everything we took in, we started about 11 in the morning, and we finished about 1 at night. So it was, like I said, a very full day. It was super intense. There were a lot of people who Tony worked with directly that it was incredible to see how these people were able to change the way they thought about certain things, and then everything else in their life shifted. And you know, it's funny because you and I, if you're in the network marketing profession, we have certain ways that we think about certain stuff. Like maybe you have a phobia or a fear when it comes to prospecting. Maybe it's, you know, you're not feeling super comfortable with getting out there and talking to people about what you have. You know what I'm talking about. Maybe it comes to leading. You know, when it comes to the area of leading, you're great at feeling like you can follow and kind of get in the crowd, but when it comes to stepping up and being a leader, maybe that's an area of concern. We all have things that we deal with. It doesn't matter how, you know, great or life wonderful is, we all have stuff. If you're with me, drop a hashtag stuff in the comment section. And so it's really a matter of how we view the stuff that happens in our life, how we view the things that get thrown our way, the curveballs of life, so to speak, that determines where we're gonna end up in life. So the first thing, there's 3 things that I'm gonna give you out of my book that I took of notes. So the first thing we have to figure out is when something comes our way, we have to identify what are we going to focus on. What are we gonna focus on? Whether it's, hey, you talked to a prospect and it didn't go as expected, right? Or whether it's, you know what, you did a presentation and you kind of felt like maybe you bombed it a little bit, whatever it is. Or maybe it has nothing to do with business. Maybe it's like your husband comes home or your wife comes home and they're in a foul mood and maybe they speak a harsh word. We have to decide what are we going to focus on first and foremost. So if you're with me, drop a hashtag focus in the comment section. The second thing, tip number 2, is we have to decide what is going to be the meaning that we give to that thing. Does that mean if the husband or wife comes in and they speak a harsh word, does that mean that they're like feeling, you know, negative against you or you did something wrong? Not necessarily. They could have had a bad day, right? Maybe you could like look at it from the perspective like, oh yeah, they really did me wrong. They shouldn't have said that. Or on the flip side, we could say, hey, you know what? Maybe this person is, they've been through some stuff today. How can I show a little compassion for them? Maybe the same thing is going on with your prospect. Maybe you talk to someone and it doesn't go down how you expected. It doesn't go down the way that you were hoping for, and you're like, shoot, that person, they don't get it, okay? They're calling this thing a pyramid. Do you know what I'm talking about? They just don't get it. And sometimes there's things that go on in their life or in their day or whatever that pre-frames them to come into that scenario. We just don't know. So it's up to you and I to decide what is going to be the meaning that we're going to give that thing. Does that mean, you know, something doesn't go as expected with a prospect and you say, hey, you know what, this is my opportunity to showcase my friendship skills. This is my opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to minister versus prospect and approach and maybe connect with them on a different level. Are you with me? So the second thing is the meaning that you give to it. And the third thing that determines everything else is you and I must decide, my friends, we must decide, what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? If something comes down the pipeline, wasn't what we were looking for, are we going to focus on the good, amazing things that happen or the negative stuff? You know, so it was interesting. So Tony shared a story yesterday, and it was about these two gentlemen that had been to different, I believe it was World War II or Vietnam War, I'm not sure. It was one of the worst. In any case, one was a story of a gentleman who, he was sitting there, and it was him and his friend that enlisted. And the two guys were these young, you know, stallions off to fight and off to, you know, really just take the world by the hands, right? And while they're there, while they're in the heat of battle, his best friend literally gets shot in the head, and he dies, and it just was a horrific experience. The second gentleman, also who came to an event similar to where I'm at right now, was also in a war. He was there. He was running, him and his comrade. The comrade was maybe about 30 feet in front of him. And in running through the rice paddies of wherever they were at, the comrade stepped on a landmine. And you know what happens when you step on a landmine. Life life doesn't exist any longer. And so both of these two men had horrific experiences. Something that we can all empathize with, that it would be terrible, it would not be great. But what was interesting is the meanings that these two different people gave to the scenario. The dude where his best friend got shot right in front of him, right before his eyes, decided that life is short, this is a bunch of crap, and that you have to guard yourself so that you never get hurt. So don't let anybody too close to you into your life because you're probably gonna get hurt. So guard yourself and don't love. That was the meaning that the first guy gave to it. How do you think his life ended up? Do you think that he had a life full of joy and peace and happiness? Or do you think that somebody with that type of mindset probably was a little guarded, a little angry, a little pissed off at the world, and maybe full of anxiety and depression and just really tight and kept up, full of bitterness? And you know, with all every right to be, right? That was the meaning he gave. The second gentleman, who had a very similar experience, he said, you know what? I knew in that moment, I had to realize, I had to discover life is short. Life is precious. And he decided that from that instant on, he was not going to waste another minute not living a loving life, a caring life. If there was people around him in his life that he loved, he was going to tell them. If there was people that he wanted to spend time with, he was going to spend time with them. He was not going to waste the preciousness that life had to offer. And so that's one example, very dramatic example. That's one example of how you get to decide the meaning that you give to things. You get to decide what you focus on. You get to decide the meaning, whether it's an empowering meaning or a disempowering meaning. And then last off, my friend, is you get to decide what to do about it. And I'm sure you can understand that those two gentlemen lived completely different lives. One went on to have a most amazing, joyous, just an amazing, incredible life, where he was full of grace and full of just full of abundance. The other one had a life where it was very bitter and cold, and he was angry about everything. And while our lives must be very, very less dramatic, you know, the experience of, hey, you know what our spouse says or what our prospect says or whatever, if we had a bad experience and we decide we're never going to do that again, all of that is real for us. Do you know what I'm talking about? So we have to decide, what are we going to focus on? What is the meaning? And last off, what are we going to do about it? And I just hope that you're in a spot in your life where you're deciding to get out there, you're deciding to kick butt and take some names in your business, and that is what you're gonna do about it. You're not gonna let the issues of the past, or somebody who didn't get involved, or somebody who said no and you felt like you were rejected, push you back or stop you from your dreams and goals. It's not worth it, my friend. It is just not worth it. So the line is moving. I gotta bounce. But if you're at a spot in your business where you are fully ready to go to the next level, then I want to see a hashtag ready in the comment section. And I have something that will help you. If your goal is really to get to the next level in your business, it's to rank advance, it's to be driving bonus cars, it's to be earning bonus checks, it's to have the ability to have some freedom in your life, if you so choose to, then I have something that will help you. It's called the 10 steps to rank advance. And I'm gonna drop a link here in the comment section. Go ahead and click on that link, enter your email, and it will give you access to this special bonus training. Now, I've already had so many people go through it, and we've seen incredible results. So if you go through it, I wanna hear your testimony. I wanna hear what happens for you. I wanna hear the great things that you discover from going through that training. So that is it for today, my friends. It's been so great seeing you. What's up, Stephanie? Hey, Shauna. All right, guys, I gotta go, but take care, be blessed, and go get this thing done. Go get everything that God has in store for you in your life.